My beard itches. All right. Today we're talking about Kong Skull Island. Now, as anyone who is familiar with me and my work and what we do around Bastards Got a Nosebleed, the BGAN brand, you're familiar with the fact that I like giant monsters. Oh boy, do I like giant monsters. Yeah, dig 'em. Dig 'em like crazy. I like little monsters too. I like this guy. This is Tesla. He's not a giant monster, but he's cute. Say hi, Tesla. See? Alright. So put Tesla back there so you can observe. So Kong Skull Island. For those unfamiliar, back in 2014, Legendary Pictures kicked off what they called the Monsterverse with their Godzilla film. And I really enjoyed their Godzilla film. I was actually a huge fan of it. I still am. So much so that I actually went out and bought. Yeah, probably should already have this out, but went out and bought this special edition Godzilla from Target that roars. Yeah, I dig Godzilla, man. I mean, I was already a fan of the character. I've always been a fan of the character since very young. Godzilla all the way. Not everybody was in love with the movie, but I loved it. I didn't even have a problem with our lead in the film, which a lot of people did have problems with. And I thought Aaron Taylor Johnson did a good job. I didn't find the character unlikable. And for all the people that like to pretend that the human characters in Godzilla films before this didn't get as much screen time, horseshit. Complete horseshit. The human characters have always dominated the movie quite a bit. A lot of you are living in La La Land. Hate to tell you. Human characters are a mainstay of the series going all the way back to the first movie. They've always been. They kind of dominate the plot beyond the big giant monster battles. I know a lot of you like to focus on the giant monster battles, but giant monsters, they're there and they're important to the story, but they don't talk, so you need human characters because a lot of people get bored when the characters don't talk. They need to talk. I'm sorry, it can't just be a 2-hour movie of just Godzilla beating the shit out of these other monsters. I'm sure it would be cool, but it's not going to happen. It's just not. Just going to have to accept it. So, Kong Skull Island is the next part in the Monsterverse. No, it's actually a prequel to what I'm going to assume are most of the other Monsterverse films, because it's set in 1973. And it actually does reference the events of the original Godzilla film, which I believe are supposed to be somewhat in canon. Like, it's hard to figure out this. Like, honestly, these movies could fit in the original Godzilla canon very easily. You could just say that Dr. Serizawa in the 2014 film is the descendant of the original. So I mean, it's not hard. It's easily done. But this does build more on the world. Um, Anyways, 1973, Vietnam has just ended. All the soldiers are getting sent home. And we get our crazy guy of the movie. Actually, we have two crazy guys in the movie, but one's crazier than the other. So we get our main crazy guy of the movie, Samuel Jackson. He is he's a military officer who's kind of a little whacked. The war has not ended for him. The war seems to never end for him. He doesn't want the war to end. So, yeah, it's problematic. Uh, Meanwhile, you have John Goodman, who's our other crazy character in the movie, who is a survivor of a ship disaster in which it's implied that Godzilla attacked the ship. But again, like I said in my written review of Godzilla, and I've said in other times, we fuck with Godzilla first and then Godzilla breaks shit. That's generally how it goes. Like, also, yeah, we'll get to that in this movie too. There's a whole thing of that in this movie. But yeah, the humans like to always act like the monsters are responsible. In the case of both Godzilla and King Kong here, or just Kong in the case of this movie. They don't actually call him King Kong in the film, they just call him Kong. They do refer to him as the king of the island, but he's never called King Kong. Anyways, in the case of both of them, yeah, they destroy shit and they do kill some people, but they're always attacked first. They're not, like, trying to attack us. If people die, it's because the people are literally kind of goading these kaiju into battle with them. And that's stupid. You really shouldn't fuck. It's like, oh hey, I'm gonna go pinch that big fucking black bear on the ass. I wonder what's gonna happen to me. Probably get your throat ripped out. It's gonna eat your face. Probably shit on your corpse. It's not gonna work out very well. So, but yeah, John Goodman plays a member of this agency, Monarch. And I can't recall if Monarch was the name of the group that Serizawa and his companion worked for in Godzilla 2014. But I'm going to assume that they're either the same part of the same group or that they're tangentially related. Basically, they're a group that clearly is investigating the giant monster problem that most of the world is unaware of, but some people know. Anyways, you got him, and you got his assistant, who I really liked. I liked his assistant. See, it's hard to remember all the names of these characters because I've only seen the movie once, and I apologize if I don't remember the names of characters in these short videos I do, because it's hard. It's really hard to remember all the names. If I were to do a proper written review of them, I would do more research and I would get more familiar with characters. And I guarantee I will be watching this movie again. Probably more than once. But yeah, you have his I don't want to call him assistant, but you have his protege that he's bringing with him, who is very smart. They end up cashing in a favor to get on this geological expedition to Skull Island. Skull Island is an island that, God, my nose is... Why, every time I record one of these videos, my nose starts itching like crazy. It's, like, ridiculous. Is it the light? Is the light doing it? Are you doing this? Is it you? I don't know. Get a little drink. Get these wet vocal cords. You gotta moisten the vocal cords. It's bad. They gotta stay moist. Anyways, they end up on this geological expedition and they want a military escort, which is where Samuel Jackson comes in. Samuel Jackson basically volunteers his men to be the expedition because, again, he's a little unhinged and he's not ready for the war to be over. So he's going in with a guns blazing kind of attitude. And finally, you have the two other main characters of the film, played by Tom Hiddleston, and I cannot think of her name for the life. Is it Blake Lively? I think it might be Blake Lively. I'm sorry if it's not. She's a good actress. She's a photographer. She's an anti-war photographer who is dying to get on this expedition. She's curious about everything. And he's a tracker. He's a former SAS, I believe. Anyways, they end up all on this expedition. Oh God, that's terrible. Together. uh, and they go to Skull Island, of course. It's great. Um, the idea is that they're going to drop these seismic charges into the ground so they can map the island on a sub level. But the truth of this is that John Goodman knows there's probably something living under the ground or on top. And they believe there's like a hollow area of the earth where all of these giant creatures have been living in secret. Like they've been existing down there. Journey to the center of the earth! I want to see them do a new Journey to the Center of the Earth movie and set it in the Monsterverse. That'd be an interesting idea. Yeah, how about that? Maybe they could tie it in with Iron Sky 2. Get me excited for that movie again. It's hard to get excited for a movie about Nazis when there's actual Nazis running around. It's hard to laugh at Nazis when there's actual Nazis just trotting down the street. Ugh. That's why I pee so much. I drink too much Dr. Pepper. Pay me! I just advertised for you. Pay me! You don't have to pay me. I love Dr. Pepper. It's good stuff. I can't. It's an addiction. I need my caffeine, and I can't drink coffee, so I gotta drink soda. And this is just the soda I choose. Anyways, of course, setting off the seismic charges gets the attention of one particular giant there, Kong, and he's very angry. He starts destroying helicopters and lots of action and stuff going on here. I'm trying to get through the meat of the story here so I can get to a proper thorough review, thorough-ish, get the story beats down here. From there, the groups are all split up. The surviving soldiers are kind of interspersed. You got our civilians characters. Yeah, characters are all kind of split up. And we get to one of my favorite parts of the film, which is something I did glaze over, but the movie does actually start further in the past. It starts in the 1940s during World War II, where two fighter pilots both crash land on this island. Well, not crash land, they just crash and they parachute out. Anyways, two fighter pilots, one Japanese and one American. They get in a fight, and the fight gets interrupted by Kong. We then meet, at this point in the movie that I was at before, we meet John C. Reilly's character, which is the American fighter pilot who's still living on the island along with these native peoples. And the native peoples have been peacefully coexisting with Kong and his kind, because there were others in Kong's bloodline, but they're dead now. Kong is the last of his species, at least as far as we're being told in the film. Maybe there's some more sleeping somewhere, or they're under the ground, who knows. I'm guessing that this other creature or the other smaller creatures killed his parents. Like they ambushed him or something. I don't know. But the parents are dead. Kong is an adolescent, and he's said to be still growing, which is clear foreshadowing for the Godzilla vs. King Kong, the Godzilla vs. Kong movie, which I'm predicting now is largely going to consist of, yeah, they're going to fight, but there's going to be a bigger threat, and the two will end up working together to fight the bigger threat, and there'll be like a begrudging respect moment, and they'll go their separate ways. Because this is how this stuff is supposed to go down, and I will give the people behind the Monsterverse movies credit right at the bat here. These movies are more respectful to the characters of Kong and Godzilla than that DC movies have been to the characters featured in there. Even though there's a lot that I do like about Man of Steel, and there's only brief parts that I do like about Batman vs Superman. And I did have fun with Suicide Squad, but after coming out of the very depressing film that was Batman vs Superman, honestly, I think I wouldn't have liked anything. It's like, oh, I've been pissed on, but now I'm not being pissed on, so it's not as, yeah, I still smell the aroma of piss, but at least it's not falling directly on me now. It's kind of that moment. That's how Suicide Squad was for me. In a lot of ways. It wasn't perfect, but at least it was better. That's a terrible analogy, but I guess, oh, whatever. Anyways, all right. I want to sum this bits up. So basically, the two pilots that were on the island, Japanese and American, figured out pretty quickly that they needed to work together to survive. They became friends. They lived there for God knows how long together. But the Japanese pilot was named Gunpei. That's the only thing I can remember. I can't remember John C. Reilly's actual character's name, but the character who's actually dead, played by Miyavi, the Japanese pop singer, Miyavi. I remember his name, Gunpei. Maybe it's because the name, it's one of those names you don't hear very often, so it just kind of sticks out in your mind. I don't know what it is, but I think that might be it. He's died. I believe he said that the skull crawlers, which are these lizard creatures that people have seen in the trailers, they killed Gunpei. Basically, to get through this, so I can give some final thoughts, they all kind of band together. Some live, some die. Some dramatic moments happen. They try to all talk to Samuel L. Jackson and try to get through to him that he needs to stop trying to kill Kong, because Kong is the only thing protecting the people on the island from the lizard creatures, the skull crawlers. Of course, Jackson's all kinds of crazy at this point. He's not listening to nobody. He still tries to kill Kong. Of course, Kong ends up killing him after he hurts him quite a bit. And after he knocks Kong out before he dies, the biggest of the skull crawlers, the big mama, or big daddy skull crawler, big motherfucker skull crawler, comes out of the ground, and Kong has to fight it now. That's the big fight moment of the movie, like the giant, big, badass battle. I mean, there's lots of cool little moments in the movie, and of course, Kong does win. He actually, seems to understand that the humans, in the end, were helping him. Now, the movie actually does end on a really cool teaser for more MonsterVerse stuff in the future. We get cave drawings shown to our main characters, because they end up getting brought into Monarch. Cave drawings of Ghidorah and Rodan and Mothra. At least I'm assuming it's Mothra. It could be Batra, but it didn't say Batra during the credits. It said Mothra, so I'm going to assume it's Mothra. That'd be an interesting little like, hey, it wasn't really Mothra. It was Batra, but we put Mothra because Batra is a Mothra villain. So, yeah. I just ate lunch and I'm fucking. So yeah, it's a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I recommend seeing it before it leaves theaters, which I don't know when this video is going to go up because I've been having a lot going on. Hopefully I'll get it up soon. We'll see. The movie itself, the things I want to do break down are some cool little tidbits. Like there's a scene in a bamboo thicket where it turns out there's a giant spider. Now, I'm a little fucked up about spiders. Spiders, I got arachnophobia, but the spider in the movie doesn't really bother me because it doesn't really look like a real spider. It's gross looking. It's all like, it's got tumors and shit going on its head, but it's not like Skyrim levels. It's not like I'm facing down with a realistic looking fucking spider. Ugh. I can't play Skyrim for that reason. Well, and I'm poor. I can't afford Skyrim. I don't have the money. I don't have the money for Skyrim. If I ever play Skyrim, it's going to be on the PC for with like mods to get rid of the spiders, like turn them. So I think there's one that turns them into bears, just a bunch of bears. I can kill bears. It's fine. But that was cool, and it's got a nice little. One of the soldiers gets impaled by the spider, and it's actually supposed to be a direct homage to Cannibal Holocaust, as I understand it. And if that's true, well done, because it does make me think of the scene with the woman who's impaled in Cannibal Holocaust. Honestly, the soldier was a lot less sexualized than the woman in the movie because, well, she was naked and he's not. But there you go. Um, I can't remember all the characters' names in this movie, but again, I've only seen it once. Um, my mind has been in a lot of other places, so it's a little hard to remember all the details. I remember all the story beats to the movie. I do remember every character. I just don't remember, personality-wise. I don't remember all of their names. I remember the actors' names more than the actual characters' names. But I will say that I enjoyed all of them. And when every one of them died, it was a bummer. I didn't want to see any of them die. Even the crazy ones, like John Goodman, who, spoiler alert, yeah, he dies. But who, by the time that he did die, seemed like he was a little less crazy, like he was leaning more towards a more progressive look towards things, like he's realizing Kong maybe isn't as bad as what he's originally thinking. No, Jackson's character is just so fucked up. He's just crazy out the ass. Super crazy. He don't give a fuck. He'll get everybody killed. He's got to win his war. He's all mad. He's got to win that war. Yeah. But yeah, Kong, Skull Island. Go see it. Give it money in the last little bit of time that it's got, I'm sure. Um, and I'll see you next time when I'm talking about something else. Will it be Boss Baby, Ghost in the Shell? Who knows? It might hurt though, whatever it is. Later.